Right, guys, thanks ever so much for coming. I'm sorry about the weather. We had a little bit of scheduling issues, our fault entirely, but we're all here now. So we've got probably 10-15 minutes chops for the group, and then we have got a couple of one-to-ones scheduled after that. So because we're all kind of running a little bit on the back foot now, what we'll do is round it up after 15 minutes and just ask people to make their way out straight afterwards, if that's okay. And so I will just step out and off you go.
How are you finding the course?
Unbelievable.
Yeah?
Unbelievable, yeah. Comic-Con is in San Diego, and it's crazy. It's insane. It's, for us, it's like we go down there, we go on a bus, they take us in the back way, we go to the panel, we don't even get to answer any questions. There's just so many people. This has just as many people, but, Expo is just so well organized, and everybody's really cool, and you see the same people a couple times, and so I've loved it. I've really loved it.
You get to meet the fans, which is really exciting. You get to, as actors, we're really removed from our own show, which is weird. You do it, you watch it, but you don't know what the fans think. It's just interesting to meet the fans and see what they have to say.
Are the British fans different in any way?
Yeah, they're a little nutty. No, they're so sweet. They're really, really sweet, and armed. And
There's all different ages, you see. I have a 13-year-old who was Gara now. She's chippy state.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's on stage at 3.
Oh, that's great. Great. Yeah, there are a lot of kids, and it's wonderful. It's really good.
How are you finding exposure to the cosplayers?
Well, they were having a party in our hotel last night.
It's really crazy.
Dancing. But it's kind of cool. It's cool to see a group of people get together like that, because they probably don't get together that often. It's kind of cool to have a place to get together and get to have a party and do all that kind of stuff. I like that. I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I like the free hugs.
I've had lots of those.
Don't actually hug anyone.
No. I mean, I was like, you're 14. Okay. Move away, stepping away.
Free lawsuit.
Yeah.
You were mentioned on the panel, to pick up on it. Sometimes you sort of, it's actually really, you were saying that you were questioning your powers and asking the extent of them and whether the writers have thought them through. Do all of you have those periods where you suddenly think, at this point in the script, why am I not using my power?
Totally. My God. For me alone, I'm like, why didn't I just kill the Knox? Why did I kill
The thing is, I think, there is a reason. And that's the thing. The writers are there. There's always at least one writer there while we're filming. And so even if we have these questions, we can call them ahead of time, we can be there. And so you get to have these kind of cool conversations. I mean, I think in the end it's not so much why am I not doing this? It's more this is a cool decision, and let's talk about it, and why should the characters making that.
Yeah, I mean, you could say, whatever's happening in the series, why doesn't Hero just take us back 2 weeks and everything will be fine? So, you really have to just run with the show. And I mean, for example, this week coming up, I meet Bria's character. I don't know if you guys, some people have seen it. I don't know if they've seen it here, but at the airport, the turtle finally gets me to the States, and I see Bria. And it's one of those things where she's working for the bad guys. Why don't I read her mind? Why can't I detect that?
No.
So I just have to roll with it and kind of say, okay, well, I'm in love, and love conquers all, love blocks all.
Right. I mean, and the characters aren't perfect. I mean, I think that's one of the cool parts of Heroes is that as people, we often don't do things correctly all of the time. We don't.
Some of us do.
Well, I mean, we don't use we might not think to use it. You might not think to read my head because you'd be blinded. I think that's a totally legitimate thing.
Yeah.
Do you think there might be a movie version?
Yes, who would play me? Let's see. Well, I've been really lucky to be on some really great shows, and they always talk about it, and it's hard for it to come to pass because of the availability of the actors and stuff. I mean, we've been talking about an Alias movie for a long time, and every time it comes up, it's like, oh, what a great idea, we could do this and this and this, and I said, yeah, that was MI3. But it's this would be incredible. This is a movie every week, so I don't know.
It's the third series, isn't it? And then
Dre's Powers, that's a movie, and we're pulling it off every week. So it would be really cool to do. I just don't know schedule-wise if you had enough time. If you ask Tim Crane, he'd be like, "Are you kidding me? I can't even breathe."
Yeah. Not only that, but they already do a comic and a web series. So if you think about that, we're doing tons of different kinds of media for the show. I mean, so it's the movie in addition to that. I mean,
It's a full-on thing. Everything is all centered on the whole.
yeah. I mean, it's a massive production.
Yes, it is. It's a big project.
Yeah, it's a big.
And we have to have time to come to Expo.
Very
Or to
brave.
breathe.
Sometimes it just becomes unfair for the writers that they just believe it takes them 22 to 23 episodes to tell these
That's
characters
very
off,
intense. It
to,
sounds very
to
intense.
mash that into like 2 hours. You
Yeah.
feel like you just, you're cheating some of the, great character storylines and arcs. And,
You all sound very focused on it. You're completely,
Yeah.
it's all a very, very intense team.
Yeah, it has to be every,
Yeah.
and the
You
actors
ever
play.
switch off?
Yeah. Oh my God. You kidding me? And by the way, if you go to Buckshot One on YouTube, BUCKSHOTWON, Adrian Pazdar and I, but mainly Adrian, he shoots these little mini movies behind the scenes, and you will see us messing around, goofing off. We have to. We're so close to being a parody of ourselves sometimes. Really.
You're breathing it. You're like,
Yeah, because it's like, I'll sit and have a scene, I'm like, I love you, and it's the end of the world the next moment,
Yes.
It's funny at times. So to keep that, our
This
self-centered,
is so part of your life, isn't it? You're so in and out. It's so
yeah, which is wonderful.
So what happens after the third series now? Sorry, I'm dominating.
Well, right now we're in the third volume in our show, Villains, and then the next volume is called Fugitives, and we just started shooting that. So we're
it's
on.
ongoing.
It does.
Is season 3 2 volumes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Fugitives is the second half of season 3. And I had this discussion with a friend of mine who's like Ricky Gervais, incredibly successful, and he's like, "Why do you guys keep going? Why do you keep going? I mean, here you make a series and you make it, and it's self-contained, and everybody's happy. It's like a movie, and we just will run until we'll drill it into the ground. When that horse drops and can no longer breathe, that's when we shut down the show."
How many seasons do you see the show running for? 7 seems to be the magic number for an American show.
Oh, from your mouth, that would be fantastic.
That would be great.
Yeah, I think we could go possibly a little bit longer than that, but that's just, I don't know, that would be incredible. Let's hope.
Each character could be its own show. We could go forever.
Spin-off.
Yeah, I've always wanted the
There's
show to be called
a
Part.
lot of good characters on the show. The writers are brilliant.
Yeah.
Bree, I mean, you mentioned during the panel that you're into comics. What about the rest of you?
I've always been a fan of comic characters. I never read comics, but I was always a fan of the TV versions of where those characters were taken, the shows that came out of comics, and the films and stuff. I just got a chance to interview, oddly enough, for Spike.com. They had a big Scream Awards, and they hired me to interview people on the red carpet. And Stan Lee came up, and I was like, oh! I mean, he's been on our show. He played this bus driver on the show. And he's talking about the world, and he's got some new project coming up, and when does he not? I mean, but I said to him, it was just such an honor to be in his presence. He started it all, so you can't help but love that. I just never collected them, but my kids now collect them. I have 3 boys, and they love them, and they love to read them, and I think hopefully our show has encouraged people to get more into comics.
I found out my character started in the graphic